You know, it's conference season over here in the United Kingdom, and that means where all the political parties have their, well, it used to be, do you remember when we were younger chums, they were there for the week, and normally they went to a seaside resort like Bournemouth, Blackpool, Morecambe, somewhere like that, you know, and then they literally overtook the entire resort, stayed at all the hotels, and all their devoted followers would, of course, turn up. It's turned a little bit different now over here in the United Kingdom because they can barely fill 2 days, and it's all about merchandise, signing up things, and of course grabbing headlines. It's come to one sort of particular situation though with the current British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer, currently in number 10 alongside Larry the Downing Street cat, and more importantly of course still clinging on to power despite the, well, never-ending alleged packet of lies, one after another, but seemingly nobody can shift him. It's always interesting though, isn't it, because now even this is a problem for the Prime Minister, but there's a bigger one looming that happened at their recent Labour Party conference. Let me explain. Morning chums, nice to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. Who'd be in the world of politics will have a nice wave. I mean, it's a lucrative job over here in the United Kingdom, let me tell you. 90,000 plus a year, plus expenses, London waiting allowance, 2 homes, and all you've really got to do is a personality contest, isn't it? Unless, of course, you're a genuine MP. Can you honestly tell me, though, if you are in the United Kingdom, other than the famous few at the front bench, excluding our Ange, of course, who's taken a vape and disappeared now, who are these people that are running our country, the government? You don't know, do you? Half of them you've got no idea. Now, the problem you can imagine if you are the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer is you're polling that unpopular that before you step out of the car, all citizens have to be moved out of the way for fear of being jeered, shouted, mocked at. You never see our Keir, as Angela liked to call him, wandering around amongst the great unwashed. That's you and I, of course, as they refer to us. And it's fascinating to think because even they now must realise they can't run that risk factor. You get the picture. But the bigger story was really this, because you see at these conferences where, you know, they sort of get up and do their endless speeches about what they're going to do and then clearly do the opposite, you know. It's a bit like this particular woman, Shabana Mahmood. Yes, amazingly our current Home Secretary, apparently stopping the boats. I don't think she could stop a plug in a sink, to be honest, but there you go. Now, where this gets interesting is she's now hit out at this alleged attack on a mosque. Yet, far more Christian churches have been burnt down and, you know, defaced and abused, all that sort of stuff. Not a peep at that particular point. You see how it's one-sided. But the problem is if you're a celebrity, this is the real issue. The likes, of course, of the singer Beverly Turner, Jason Manford, John Richardson, the actor James Norton, the list goes on and on. These were all the people that were supposedly behind Keir Starmer, including Dawn French. Yes, Dawn, she of the fringe and the big bat eyelashes, right? Well, apparently she's gone to ground also. Even as I pointed out in a recent video, Lavorderman has disappeared, basically saying Keir really shouldn't be in power. This is apparently from an ex-maths genius who wanted to earn 1 million a year, shuffling a few cards on an afternoon daytime TV quiz. But that's Carol. Now, here's where it gets interesting. They wanted to put up this video up in the conference, right, of all these celebrity backers basically saying what a fantastic job our Keir and Ange had done. And they reached out to all of these celebrities. Guess what? They're unavailable. No, they couldn't do it. They'd like to, but, you know, commitments. They didn't want to get political. Not too shy, of course, about 14 months ago, going on camera or indeed in print or, more importantly, being pictured with our Keir pushing that narrative. Now they realise that it's about their business, their currency, their receipts. Will you go to see them in their latest play? You know, the sort of thing. And consequently, you have all of this issue that now suddenly it affects them. And what you see when you see footage like this of the British Prime Minister wandering around the streets of the United Kingdom cleared because he's now that unpopular, well, you could now count that also in the one-sided, once-loved celebrity circle. It seems that no one, including these ex-pals, these ex-famous people, has no love for Keir. Where did it go wrong? Neil Sean in the very heart of the United Kingdom.